Hello and welcome back to another day in our Minecraft world with Create and a bunch of other mods. As you can see behind us, we have something new on our to-do list. Let's check that out. You might have guessed by what I'm holding also. Today we are going to build what we've all been waiting for, a train. Put it off for a decent amount of time, and it is definitely time to build one. But before we do that, let's sleep this rain away, and then we'll get the supplies needed for our build today. So for today's build, I already have our train controls, but what we're going to need from our storage first, and we'll go down, we'll need some train casing. I'll grab 10 of them. And we'll definitely need our glue, so we'll send that over. So the train we're going to create today isn't really too much of a spectacular train. It's more of a workhorse, I guess you can say. And we're going to try to also create a second train as well. But our first train is going to revolve around us needing to tunnel and dig out the rest of our rail line. But then also we're going to use a new item from the Create mod, which is right here, called the mechanical roller. So that's what it takes to craft one. Crushing wheels, casing, and electron tubes. Hopefully we have enough. We only need about 3 of these for what we're going to be doing. But to give you an idea on what it does, let's ponder it. So they can help clean up terrain around the track area. And we can specify what we want for a paving material below our rails. And you can use it with other contraptions as well, but our main goal today is going to be to take up paving our rail line. And then we'll get into this later on down the road, filling terrain with the roller, which uses a lot of resources from what I can guess. So for that, we'll go back to our mechanical roller and see if we can make, we can only do 2. Okay, so let's see what's holding us up then. Because I know it's not the crushing wheels and not the casing, it's probably the electron tubes. Yeah, definitely has to be the electron tubes. We'll go ahead and add those in, and let's see if we have enough supplies to make one more electron tube. Okay, so we're gonna need 8 redstone, 1 nether. Oh, look at that. We're almost there. Okay. So then we're also gonna need a few other pieces from here. We're gonna need our drills, which we are gonna have to make more of. Let's see if we can. Yeah, can't make too many more, but we'll try. Need our contraption controls for the pavers and drills. See if we can make another one. Which requires electron tubes as well. Let's send that stuff off. And we'll go ahead and make another electron tube while we're at it. Add over. That should be everything for the controls that we need. Next, we're gonna need storage. So I'm gonna actually use chests for this. And we'll grab 6 of those. And again, this is more just a workhorse. It's not gonna look good in the end, but it's gonna get the job done that we need it to get done. After we build it, we're gonna come back because we're gonna pave with andesite. So I think we have all we need for the most part to get started. I'm just gonna put in a couple other items just so we have them available. Okay. Go ahead and just put some stuff in here for the moment. Okay, I'm gonna craft up those items real quick. So let's go ahead and make it one of the electron tubes we're gonna need, and we'll make the other one. And I can go ahead and get rid of the sandpaper now. So eventually we'll have all this stuff automated. Now we're gonna put everything we need in the backpack, just because we can craft right out of it. Okay. Let's go ahead and make our rollers. Put that? Oh yes, contraption controls. Just because we need two of them, one for the drills, one for the rollers. Okay, we got the basics that we need to get started. And you know what? We are gonna have to borrow from this, so let's disassemble it. And grab our wrench. We're gonna take some of the drills. There we go. Now we should have plenty of drills. So for creating a train, the first thing you want to do is you want to come over here to your train station once you place it down. And we named it Train Yard because this is where we're going to do most of our train building. And just so you guys can see this, we did build some sidings here. So we have our maintenance track, probably one of our trains, then this is going to be a through line in the end. But in the in-between episodes, I did take the time to plan out a route and lay the track all the way to our first village. And this is where we're going to end our train. And we're going to probably put a loop in here just so it can turn around and come back. But anyways, back to building it, you're going to want to turn your yard, go into your station, hit create new train, and you'll see that a blue flag popped up. It's going to tell you no bogies are present. Okay, now if you did that by mistake, you can hit cancel assembly, or if you happen to have a train here, you can click assemble train to reassemble. But we don't have either, so let's go ahead and get started. So first things first is I'm going to move some stuff around in my inventory, just so we don't have the stuff we don't need in the way. And let's go ahead and grab our train casing, train controls, and then we'll get to this stuff after. So, train casings, you'll notice that there's a highlighted area of track. We're just going to place that there, and that gives us a bogie. Now by clicking on the bogie, you can change the type of it. Now there are other mods out there that give you many different options. But whereas we don't really have that added into our pack that we're using, we're just going to stick to something basic because again, this is just a maintenance train. It's not going to get too much use once the train line is all set. So on the front here, I'm going to go ahead and put one of the casings. And actually, I'm going to bring that out one more for the moment. We're going to go into our bag and we're going to grab our mechanical rollers to start with. We're going to place one down. So that is the optimal spot for it. And actually, we could place these behind us instead. So let's do that. So, place that there. And knowing that it's going to take up probably 2 block spaces. And we're going to keep one in our inventory for the moment. Just because we will need it for the controls. get our cheap scaffolding, because I did not bring anything to get on or off of here. And before we assemble, we'll also go over the different modes and how to go about setting your fill. But essentially with this train, we're not going to do too much in-depth with it again, just because it's only going to really carve out our tunnels, pave the rails. We're not really looking to do much more than that. But we will make it as comfortable as we can. Speaking of which, I forgot a seat. But we're going to put our train controls right here. And then our contraption controls will go on each side. Just so that way there, as you're driving it, you can turn them on or off. Now, I'm not sure, but if you wanted to and don't set anything, you can essentially control all your rollers, drills, and whatnot. We are going to go ahead and set this one for the roller. Oops. Set that for the roller. And not shuffle anything. Then we're going to set that one for the drill. And then with the drill, for the most part, I don't think I need to put, I can put one in the center here with the track where it is. But also, most of my track, the center is already cleared out. So I'm not going to worry about putting one here. Now, if you want to put one there, you just got to pull that piece of track up, put it down, glue it in place, and then assemble the train. But I'm not going to worry too much about that. So with my railroads, I like to have at least one block on each side of the track cleared. And I like to try to go at least 5 blocks higher, almost. Because if you figure, you got 1, 2, 3, and then 4. So that puts you right at a roof height. So if you went 5 to 6, you give yourself ample clearance for anything that you're going to put through there for the most part. Like I thought, we're going to have to take some more drills. Which we can always make more later and put them back. Now if you're not going to reuse your mining rig like I just did, and I took the drills from it, remember to remove the glue. Because if you don't remove the glue and you go to put something there and then assemble something, you're going to pull up a bunch of stuff that you might not want to. That's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And we are going to actually go and take all the drills apparently. So actually, let's take a look at this a second. So from our side view, so we see 2, 3, then we know we'll be head height around 4. Roof height is 5. So yeah, that's about as high as we need to go. And for the most part, we'll work with that. We can always go back in through the tunnels and clear out the corners if needed. But we're going to keep it simple like that. So I guess our mining rig over here can have one back. So now that we have this in place, we can put that in. So with these, we have the roller mode. So you have clear blocks and pave, straight fill below, and sloped fill below. The two fill ones, if I'm correct, it goes about 12 blocks down. So if you have anything below there, like tunnels that you made that you want to keep, be cautious. And these both use a lot of material. But for what we're going to be doing, we're going to stick with clear blocks and pave. And we need to go get our paving block to put in there. But we'll do that in a minute. So with this, we have the front area that we can put some of our storage. Is not only are we going to need space for our paving material, but we might also want to pick up what we're mining through with this. So we'll do those there. And then I think, yeah, we can still open those. So we're just going to keep it simple like that, not go too intense. Because again, this is pretty much just going to be for while we're building the railroads. Bring that back. So you can just use train casing if you want, but the only thing you really need train casing for are the bogies. And in this case, because it's such a small train, we really only need the one bogie. But as you can see, it will show you how far back you can create your trains. And when we build our next train, which will have a couple different cars on there, I'll show you how it sets it up differently. But let's go ahead and let's make sure we got everything out of there that we needed. Let's go grab the seat and our fill material from storage. Although, oh yeah, I don't have a seat in that, never mind. So our fill material is going to be andesite. So I think 1,000 blocks of it should be enough. We'll go 1 point, almost a full inventory. And then let's see if we have any seats left over from our previous builds. Nope, I am not seeing any here. So if I'm correct, a seat, which, go ahead and go green. So it's green wool and a slab. Perfect, we have that in stock. And move all this stuff in. That is why I love having the backpacks. It's similar to a shulker box, just you can make them in-game early, don't have to go to the end. Let's go ahead and assemble that seat real quick. our seat will go right there. So that will allow us to sit as we drive the train, and then we can use our third-person view. Now we're going to designate the material. Now you can only designate one material for pave mode in a contraption, if I'm correct. Because no matter what you do, it's going to switch all of them. So, just going to do it like that. And we are pretty much all set to glue it. Let's try to use that one up, and then if we need to, we have another one. So with gluing, you always want to start with stuff that you know is going to be a decent size. And again, you'll see that it makes the connections. So if we do this right, everything should be glued together. And unfortunately, there's only really one way to tell if you get it all glued together with the trains. That's all set, that's set, that's connected to that. Those are running through there, right? Yeah. Just making sure we didn't get anything else that we don't need. Okay. So now we'll come over here. We'll go ahead and assemble this train. And so if you do have an issue, it will tell you that it can't assemble it. But in our case, we didn't have any issues for the most part. I'm going to leave it unnamed for now. And right now it's set to open all doors. Now if you did have doors on it, you can choose which sides to open, keep them closed. Keep them closed might be good if you plan to take your train through to the nether. But now let's go ahead and we're going to go ahead and fill our paving material. Actually, let's hold off on filling that for a second, because we want to make sure we glued everything first and not use everything up. So we're going to turn all our actuators off, take control of the train. So the other thing with the train is there is a speed control regulator on it, as you can see moving right above where the XP bar would be. Generally speaking, you might want to keep it slower, especially if you are drilling and paving. But if you're also running trains, you can limit their speed with this. So let's go ahead and go into third person. As you can see, we do get a nice little funky hat, conductor hat. And just like walking, W is forward, S is back, A is to go to the left, D is to go to the right. So we're going to start by backing up first. And we have everything attached in the first go. Now, when you do approach a station, you have the option to hold spacebar, and it will take you right to the station point and park for you. That's helpful, especially if you're gonna have to disassemble it, reassemble it, or if you're trying to line things up. Um, Definitely worth doing it that way, but you can do it manually too. Just will take you a little longer probably. So now that we stopped controlling it, and as you can see, we don't have the options now showing up, but they are set. Let's go ahead and fill a small chest here with our paving materials. Take it all out of our backpack. Okay, so we got one full chest and then we got 2 extra stacks. I'm gonna keep the paving material in the smaller chests, just so I know where they are. And we are ready to pave. So let's go ahead and put this stuff away, just so we don't have it in the way. We'll keep the wrench out just in case we need it. Um, Also, the other thing, if you do happen to not have a place to turn your train around, you can go over to it, take the wrench, click the bogey, take the wrench. Okay, there we go. So now as you can see, it shows that you can relocate it. You can relocate it to so many points, and essentially where you're facing will be the direction of your train. But we're not going to do that because we're all set to go, so we're just going to abort the relocation. So the first areas we're going to take care of today isn't actually going to be around here. We're going to go on a trip down and around to pave, just because this area is already flattened out and we still have to build more in this area and add some infrastructure. Oops. The other thing is, don't try to click on your train seat while you have your wrench. Let's go ahead and we'll turn on our mechanical actuators for now till we just need our drill. Oop, don't want free cam. And let's go ahead and as you can see right below the rail, it's paving it. Now what we might do is we might go back after we pave it and we'll add in the other side bit a little bit and mix it up. Now for this, I think I will try to put the drill on just because I do see a little dirt side. And that way there, it will clear it out a little bit. But if you have to, go back, take a second pass at it. And that's why it's important to just take your time, because sometimes the drill won't hit it on the first run. But yeah, so the other cool thing too about the paving part of the rollers is that it creates slabs where slabs will fit. So you're not losing a whole block on going up. And as you can see, because I didn't tell it which way to go, it decided to turn, which is fine. We'll do this little area and then we'll back up. Go forward a little more and say we're gonna go to the right backward. Nope. So once you play around with this a little bit more, you will understand your train controls. It just, it takes some getting used to. And once you automate your scheduling and put in train signals, you'll be able to essentially have a train come and go without even having to drive it. But as we get up here, we are going to stop and turn the rollers off. Just because we don't want to ruin our beautiful bridge. But yeah, I will bring you guys back when we get to our first tunnel. And oh, don't want that one, that one. Okay. Ooh, that was almost bad. Let's turn that off a second. Go. Actually, we'll turn that on. We can turn that back on. Okay. I think we're gonna need more material than what we have on board. But we at least get the principle of it. This is a little bit of a steeper area than I wanted it to be, but I will make it work. So one thing about going through tunnels, you want to take your time. Just because if you have gravel, water, lava, anything above and you didn't protect yourself like I didn't do, you can run into some issues. But also, it's always good to take your time. Because then you can also light it up as you go, because if I wanted to, I could put a torch in my hand. Which I might have to go back through and do. But yep, so I will bring you guys back in once we clear through this tunnel. Yes. So if I did my due diligence, we shouldn't have any issue. Actually, yeah, we'll go forward first. And you'll notice the train automatically stops at the end of the rail. You don't have to worry about running off the edge, unless you have a mod installed for that. So we'll back it on up. And we'll go forward and to the right. Now, as I was saying, if I did my due diligence, I shouldn't have any trees really in the way, aside from maybe some of their leaves. But we are at the end of the line, so what I will do now is turn the train around and show you guys how that actually works. So we'll click it and place it right there. So just like that, it just turns it right around. Oops. Again, don't click it with your wrench. As you can see, it stores everything you do pick up. So like we have gravel, cobblestone, some ores, even some apples. But what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and head on back. And I'll see you guys back when we get to our factory town. And instead of going back the way we came, we're going to go ahead and take this all the way around. Once we get past this area here, I'll turn the drills back on. So that way there we can clean up the areas right next to the railroad. And if you ever are in doubt if you can get a piece, it doesn't hurt to stop and go back and see. Ah, Home Sweet Tower. If you want to see how that was built, check out one of the first videos. Got it. Oops. I guess. Yeah. Yep. I feel bad for that pig. I am sorry for any animals lovers out there. I will pay more attention. But anyways, back to the video. So, the other thing to keep in mind too is that it will not place slabs of items that don't have slab variants. Okay, so now that we're back in town, let's go ahead and, well, we can leave those on. Turn those off. No sense in taking out either our train station, which, as you can see, if I left those drills on, we'd lose a good front of it. But again, most of the trains, too, that we're going to build are only going to be the width of the track. So they would come right up next to the track for on and off loading. So we wouldn't have this issue like we're having now. But now that we're back here, we are going to go first to the left. Forward a little bit more, and then we'll back it on up. And you'll notice that it didn't say hold space to approach train yard till we were past it. So that's the big thing, is it's directionality wise. It's got a directionality to it. So see how that arrow goes forward? So as long as you're on the same line as it, for the most part, it will direct you to go in. Now that we are done with that, guess that's where we're going to go ahead and end this video for today. And in the next couple episodes, we'll start gathering what we're going to need to build our mixed train, which will be a passenger and cargo train. More so just for looks, but hey, might as well try to get something set up going all the way to that town that we visited. Well, village. But yeah, so till next time, keep crafting, and if you love trains, give this video a thumbs up, and tell me in the comments what type of train you think we should build in terms of the engine. I'm thinking we might go steam, but I know there are some diesel fanatics out there that might want to see something like, I think it's a Deltic. That's a UK style train. But yeah, drop it in the comments below. Like and subscribe, it really does help. And I'll see you next time.